dual suspension, and a big battery for under $1,000. This is the Blazer ST from Actbest. Let's go. All right, here's your Blazer ST from Actbest here. Dual suspension, budget, fat tire, 26x4, $949. So under $1,000, and you get a pretty big battery. You get dual suspension, although it's pretty cheap suspension, very generic. And the fenders are here, but the back one was twisted, so I couldn't put it on. They're sending me a new one. Well, let's check out the rest of the specs to see what this e-bike has to offer. For a motor rocking I think it's 1,000 watt, peaks at 1,800 watts here, so should be pretty fast. We'll test it out on the road. I have not ridden this bike yet. Now they claim on the website it goes 36. I don't think it goes 36 in my initial throttle test when I just stood it still, but we'll test that as well. So again, 1,800 watt peak power, so I'm assuming it's about 1,000 watt motor back there. Your battery's under here. This is a 48 volt 20 amp hour system here, so pretty nice package. Comes with a 3 amp charger, so it takes about 7 hours to charge from dead to full. And actually it came pretty full. I think it was like in a 90%. Just clicks in there, get the key out, and a little lock here. Slam it back in to secure it. Charge port is on the other side of the frame. Tires and brakes, these are 26x4, unbranded tires, 180s on the rotors, and some basic 2-piston hydraulic disc brakes. Sizing wise, the e-bike is 76 inches long from tire tip to tire tip. It weighs 84 pounds and it claims a payload of 500 pounds. It's pretty big when it comes to that. So your dual suspension here, you got a front spring shock, you can lock it out, and it's got preload on that side. Your mid shock here is not adjustable. It's just basically looks like a generic spring right there. But the linkage here is pretty thick, so it shouldn't bend on you or anything. And that's what you're getting here on the Blazer ST. And the whole bike has a waterproof rating of IPX5 for pretty good resistance. All right, so on this bike you have just basic rubber grips here, not locking. Here's your control pad, plus and minus, M button, power buttons down here. You have hydraulic brakes, which is nice. You got a front forward leading stem here that goes straight out. So you're gonna be leaned over a bit on this bike when you're sitting on it versus if it was up here. On the right side, you have a half twist throttle, typical Shimano shifter, and your other brake and your other grip. Here's a look at your display. You got your speed up here. Your battery bars are up here. You got trip time, power, and odometer. That's basically all you get in here. You can't go into settings by hitting the M key twice. There's no speed setting to change though, so I think it's locked in terms of whatever it comes with in terms of speed. But there are instructions in the manual if you want to get more information on the parameters of that display. All right, well, let's take this off-road beast here for a ride. We'll do an off-road test here in the woods. Check out the speed, check out the hill climbing ability, feel the ergonomics, and give you my overall likes and dislikes at the end, so stay tuned for that. First up, we're going to go in the woods though. Got dual suspension here. Big bike, so definitely for big guys, people like 5'10" and above, I would say. Are great for 26x4s. Certainly most sizes can ride this, but you're going to feel more comfortable on a bike that's the right size for you. And anything 26x4 is like better for people 5'10" and up. All right, here. Well, it's pretty stiff rear shock back there. I can tell you that right away. You want to listen for clunking. That's the sign of a cheap fork. Let's see how this is. There's the clunk. Yep, another one. So, this is a budget dual suspension e-bike. You get a sizable battery though, which is good. just throttle up this hill here. Oh yeah. Again, that front fork is clunky as heck. Do my little loop in here. And it comes the downhill. Jump there. Let's avoid that big one because I don't want to go crashing. And a little bit of mud. Maybe some rain. Ooh, yeah. Set the kids in the back here. Just a little jump. A little jump. Oh, they've been working on this thing. Let's give this a shot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you see here they've been working on the little cutout. You feel you sit pretty far forward on this thing, so I'm really leaning over. I can really feel a pressure on my wrist here while I'm leaned over on this thing. So I would want a more upright ride on something like this, especially being such a heavy bike. All right, that's our loop. So yeah, the front fork is a cheap front fork, and that's what you get. Get what you pay for. But does the job. Brakes takes a lot of effort to stop these hydraulics, so they're not quite dialed in, I don't think. Well, the speeds match on the bike and the GPS, so that's good. This display is very hard to read in the sun. It's extremely dark. I'm not sure. There might be a setting in the display there for brightness, but you have to check that in the manual. Okay, here's our test track. Let's do a throttle only run here. Bump it up to 5. Let's see what we get here. We got full throttle. It's 24, 26, 27, 28 in the bike, so they match pretty well. 28 on the phone. And running out of room there. Alright, so 28 miles an hour on throttle, not bad. Let's see what this does with pedaling. Can I get 30? 1800 watt, you would think it should. It's 25, 26, 27. The motor kind of cuts out right there. Felt it. 28. Yeah, so class 3 e-bike, 28 miles an hour, pedaling or throttle. Just have the brakes. You really got to squeeze those things. They take a lot of effort. This thing has cruise control. Let me see if I can get it going here. No. It's happened to me twice. If you hold it for the same speed. See, I got stop signs here, so. There it goes. Alright, so if you hold that speed for about 5 seconds, that's when cruise control kicks in. So just be aware of that, because it will surprise you when you're first riding this thing. Alright, hill test. We have an 1800 watt peak motor here, so I'm going to throttle only this thing up the hill the whole way. And it should have no problem. So 11 miles an hour. Confidently gaining steam here. 12. There's 13. This bike has cruise control, by the way, so I'm going to show that to you later. Alright, doing 16. Throttle only again. This should have no problems on this hill, so Bike's about 3/4 charged. I didn't charge the battery because it said full when I got it, so I've lost a bar or two already. Okay, we're at 10, 9, and I think we're going to crest right around 8 miles an hour. So there's 7 actually. All right, you can do better with throttle, with pedaling, of course. But yeah, so not a ton of torque on this thing. Okay, cruise control just kicked in. I'm doing nothing, and we're doing 18 miles an hour. Let's try it up the hill here. Oh yeah. Alright. Steep hill here. And had a little help there coming up the hill, but not too bad. So you definitely need some momentum when you're going up the hill on this thing. From a dead stop, it would struggle a little bit more. All right, let's test the brakes down here. One more time. They're not really broken in yet, so. Yeah, no fishtailing. And I started right at the shadow over there, so I don't know, what is that? 17 feet, something like that. All right, let's go talk about this bike, go over the likes and dislikes, and I'll tell you my feelings on this thing. All right, there's your Blazer ST. For under $1,000, you know, it is what it is. It's not the greatest bike in the world, not the worst I've had. What I like about the bike, I like the colors. I like the dual suspension. I like you get rack and fenders. The power's pretty good, although it's not as advertised. So that's one of the cons. They advertise it as 36 miles an hour, but even with the throttle only just sitting there with it, lifting up the back tire, you get 30. And I only had 28 on it. So class 3 e-bike, but you do get full throttle on that. I don't like the brakes. The brakes are very, very hard to pull. And I don't like the forward leaning position of this bar here. They should have went with an angled stem. Brought those bars in more, brought them up more for a more comfortable ride. Companies, you don't realize that these, people who buy these bikes are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and that's a very aggressive stance here for a bike like this. So raise those bars, bring them in a little bit more, shorten that reach, and I think you'll sell more of these things. But let me know what you think in the comments there. It's just a basic e-bike for $949, so nothing to get too excited about. But that is your Blazer ST on Crisscross, guys. Drop a comment, let me know. See you on the next one.